Good afternoon, members of the board. My name is Patrick Wilson. I have with me Emmett Johnson, who is going to assist me in my presentation. As a member of the public, I have contended from the beginning of these hearings, many meanings of the words you're accustomed to using are either fictitious, inaccurate, or imaginary, giving rise to illusions. The use of fictitious definitions causes the judgment of many state institutions to become frequently misguided, including the CDCR, and the judgment of this board, evidenced by the contents of your current report. This presentation is a demonstration of the process that leads to the experience of actually learning and identifies what the objects of study are that develops an educated individual as far as they are able when successfully studied and recognized. I have observed the word education has taken on an official double false meaning. The official use of education fictitiously refers to vocational training or indoctrination, leaving an officially educated individual to believe their judgments of opinion or belief are known to them, causing them to frequently develop the habit of thinking that they know when they do not. This begs the question, what is it that a truly educated person is able to do that an officially educated person is unable to do? My contention is that until CDCR management has a clear understanding of what it means to be well educated, what effect it has on an individual, other than being indoctrinated to participate in blind obedience to any law and to be submissive to any authority or trained in some profession, CDCR management will necessarily continue to fail in any of its attempts to promote actual education in any prisoner, which is being done on the questionable assumption being educated or adequately vocationally trained will effectively reduce recidivism. The major causes of recidivism are being either denied or ignored by the CDCR and are no part of this current report. I further contend CDCR management has no idea what the subjects of study are or the method of their study that promotes a person's actual education. This is partly due to having been indoctrinated themselves to believe they are well educated after having been issued an official certificate from a so-called accredited education institution. Assisting me is Emmett Johnson, who has volunteered to answer my questions. They are factual questions anyone is able to answer truthfully. As you follow along, please note that any answer he gives you may wish to question, so they may be addressed at the end of this demonstration. Bear in mind, I only have 30 minutes. There will be a couple of subjects that you're not familiar with that I do not have time to adequately address. At the beginning, I will ask Mr. Johnson a couple of questions in order to get him to turn his attention around to himself. Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Are you presently alive or dead?
Well, I believe I'm alive.
Okay. Are you a man or a woman?
I am a man.
Do you sense with your five senses that which is ongoing outside of you, commonly referred to as physical existence, and that which is ongoing inside of you, generally referred to as thinking? I wish to focus on your sensing of physical existence first.
Yes, I do.
Are there only two different ways by which you or anyone else senses physical existence? And they are either directly or indirectly by way of images and symbols. By images and symbols, I mean the pictures, movies, videos, television, all the products of the entertainment industry. And by symbols, I mean the use of language, written or spoken. For language is the use of symbols that refer to their objects. This is to say that you hear and see reports of events in physical existence beyond your direct sense by way of images and symbols. And again, is there any other way which you or anyone else senses physical existence other than directly or indirectly by way of images and symbols?
You must see and acknowledge what you've learned and seen.
Because there's only two ways that you can sense physical existence, either directly or indirectly.
Yes.
I wish to note at this time, images and symbols are also used to refer to that which is ongoing inside of you. Do you not only sense physical existence, but you also make judgments about the physical existence, whether you sense it directly or indirectly?
Yes, I do.
May these judgments be either true/accurate or false/inaccurate. That is to say, do you sometimes err in your judgment of that which you sense directly or indirectly?
Yes, we do make mistakes.
Whenever you're making judgments of reports of events occurring in physical existence beyond your direct sense, does it often or seldom occur the images and symbols do not accurately refer to the events reported?
It often occurs.
Is the experience of believing any other experience that when you trust, images and symbols accurately refer to their objects?
Yes, they do accurately.
Is disbelieving any other experience than when you question the accuracy of the images and symbols referring to their objects?
Yes, that's correct.
I wish you to now focus on direct sensation of physical existence and your judgment of it. When making judgments of that which you sense directly in physical existence, is your certainty of judgment of its existence, motion, and qualities far more certain than when you judge indirectly?
Yes, it is.
May we conclude from your admissions there are only two categories of judgments corresponding to the two ways in which we sense physical existence. One category of judgments results from sensing physical existence indirectly, commonly referred to as believing or disbelieving, and the certainty of judgment is far more often than not uncertain. The second category of judgments is those rendered by way of direct sense of physical existence, in which you are far more certain of your judgment.
Yes, usually your conclusions are accurate.
Because of the vast difference of the certainty of judgment between the first category of judgments and the second category of judgments, do we rightly distinguish our judgments in the second category, our opinions?
Yes, usually it's when you feel you're right.
May both categories of judgments of beliefs and opinions be either true/accurate or false/inaccurate.
Yes.
Have you often heard those who study physical existence claim they know their direct judgments of physical existence?
Yes, I have.
Is it the opinion of those who study physical existence? It is in a constant state of change.
Yes.
Therefore, may we conclude the judgments of the existence, motions, and qualities, whether beliefs or opinions, of physical existence are subject to change relative to the constant change in physical existence.
I feel yes.
Then may we also conclude only the judgments of believing and opining are possible from judging the sensations of physical existence, whether directly or indirectly.
Yes, the conclusion is usually correct.
Then must we look within in order to accurately define the experiences of learning and knowing, since it is not evident they result from judgments of physical existence, as most people are led to believe in our present education institutions.
Yes, because we're looking at corrections.
Now turning to the inside. You have admitted that you think.
Yes.
Do you think in a language?
Yes, I do.
And language is the use of symbols referring to their objects, whether they occur inside of you or outside of you, as previously admitted.
Yes.
Then your thoughts/symbols refer to their various objects/meanings.
Correct, yes.
Are there two categories of abstracts that may occur within you? One category being the abstracts of mathematics, and the other category being the abstract actions of your mind and their causal principles. By abstract actions of your mind, I am referring to questioning, fearing, judging, reasoning, imagining, remembering, recognizing, hating, loving, and many others, too numerous to list now. I wish to note I have not been given enough time to elaborate on causal principles or their interplay. I mention them only to be thorough.
Yes, that's correct.
Due to all of us participating in these abstract actions of the mind, is it indicative we not only have a brain, but also a mind, since biological and other physical existence are unable to participate in or generate this category of abstract actions.
Yes.
Do the abstract actions of the mind and their causal principles ever change from what they are themselves? This is to say, we may fear many things, but they are not the experience of fearing itself, which never changes from what it is.
True, fear is very positive.
It is the major difference between the judgments of physical existence and the abstract actions ongoing inside of us, that the judgments of physical existence result from sensation derived from physical senses, but the abstract actions of our mind and their causal principles must necessarily be recognized by the mind, while the judgments of the objects in physical existence are merely identified.
I believe that's correct, yes.
When you're led by right question asking to recognize the abstracts of mathematics, do you not often spontaneously respond by saying, "I understand," when you recognize them?
Yes, I do.
May I therefore refer to recognition of this category of abstracts as our understanding, due to all of the abstracts of mathematics referring to that which occurs in physical existence, which is always changing.
Yes.
And may I refer to recognition of the abstract actions of the mind and their causal principles, that which may be known to us, for these objects never change from what they are, and therefore recognition of them never changes and is the same to all.
Yes, when you're referring to the object, yes.
This could also be said of the abstracts of mathematics. They also never change from what they are. However, they differ by referring to things constantly changing.
It's correct, yes.
Also, if someone has not studied these abstracts, or only slightly, and thus having little recognition of them, may they be easily deceived into believing almost anything about them, having no intellectual defense against the lie/illusion. As one example, if someone was told the principle of justice is nothing else than whatever the legislators enact, would they be unable to recognize the absurdity of it?
Yes.
They would?
Well, if you're told everything is this certain item, you're going to end up believing that.
When one is said to have learned, does this imply they have acquired knowledge, not opinion or belief?
Yes.
And that which is known is always true and never false. This is to say, hypocrisy is never anything else than condemning in others what you do yourself, and fear is always expectation of harm. And this is always true and never false, and therefore the recognition of both hypocrisy and fear may be accurately referred to as being known to us.
Yes.
May we conclude of the four categories of judgments, only those judgments of the abstracts occurring within you may be known, and this is accomplished by being led to recognize them, and these judgments occur from within, not through sensations from physical existence.
Yes.
Then may we not say accurately there are four categories of objects our thoughts refer to, of which we make judgments: the objects of belief, the objects of opinion, the abstracts of mathematics, and the abstract actions of our mind and their causal principles, rendering us four categories of truth: true belief, true opinion, true understanding, and undeniable knowledge.
Yes, I believe that you're accurate on that.
Have you now learned to be able to recognize/know when you believe, when you opine, and in what way those judgments are different, as well as recognize when you understand and when you know, and in what way those judgments are different?
Yes.
Then may we conclude knowledge may not be transferred from one person to another, for its origin is from within.
Correct, yes.
This inward recognition of the mind cannot be sold to another due to its origin being from within.
Yes.
If knowledge cannot be sold, will it likely be assumed by most to be worthless and only a benefit to him who has it?
Yes.
When a person's thoughts accurately refer to their objects, to that degree they're in contact with reality.
Yes.
May we also conclude from your admissions, no institution will be successful in leading someone to a state of being well educated or being in contact with reality that does not include in their curriculum the study of the abstract actions of the mind and their causal principles.
Correct.
Are definitions guides to reason?
Yes.
If the images and symbols/thoughts do not accurately refer to their objects in reasoning, will the conclusions likely result in error?
Yes, it would.
If the definitions accurately refer to their objects, will they most likely reason accurately?
Yes.
Is it your belief that any serious person would answer these questions any differently than you have?
No, I believe they would all answer the same.
May we further conclude from your admissions, until the study of the abstract actions of the mind and their causal principles are a central study in the state's public education system or in the CDCR's alleged new education curriculum, any efforts to better educate prisoners, or anyone else for that matter, will necessarily fail.
Yes.
What effect their education curriculum has will be to vocational train them. Then may we rightly conclude the state's education system will necessarily continue to produce legislators and judges whose judgment of the abstracts of their profession, education, law, justice, and crime, to name a few, or their related causal principles, will be too often delusional due to using a language with imaginary or invented meanings referring to nothing that exists outside of their imaginations.
Yes.
Further, do you believe if someone is able to follow this reasoning, they would likely come to recognize the interplay of the causal principles which cause and control physical existence, widely recognized today by physicists, and their interplay with the causal principles causing and controlling the mind, not widely recognized today, will conclude with the certainty of understanding it's the sharing of these causal principles that connect the mind to physical existence?
Yes.
I have observed the word education has taken on an official false double meaning. The official use of education fictitiously refers to vocational training or indoctrination, leaving an officially educated individual to believe their judgments of opinion or belief are known to them, causing them to frequently develop the habit of mind of thinking they know when they don't. This begs the question, what is it that a truly educated person is able to do that an officially educated person is unable to do? And the answer to the question is, a truly educated person is able to find and recognize the abstracts of their mind and their causal principles, while an officially educated person is unable to do that, and this inability is the key element that causes crime. If the board has any questions, I will do my best to answer them.
Anyone? No, with that, thank you, Mr. Wilson.
Okay, thank you.